Alright, we're back doing some Star Wars Obi-Wan, little ramble here ahead of Obi-Wan-Kenobi premiering on Friday, May 27th on Disney+. Can't believe it's here, folks. It was teased 4 or 5 years ago, and it's finally here. Just super excited to see what they're going to do with the character. Just one of the beloved characters, my personal favorite character in the whole Star Wars saga. Alec Guinness started the myth in the original trilogy, and then Ewan McGregor. Just can't imagine anybody else playing this character right now. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. We'll just go over some of the things I'm kind of hoping for, maybe some predictions with what's going to happen with Obi-Wan. So we're going to get 2 episodes on Friday, and then it's only a 6-episode series, so only 4 more episodes after. So it's going to be a quick, they build it as a limited series. I think that might be the right move. I think just sort of, it's got a beginning, middle, and end. And, we really know where the end is. We're starting with this Revenge of the Sith. That's the last time we saw Obi-Wan. And then we've got 19 years before we see him again in A New Hope. This series splits the difference. It's going to be 10 years after Revenge of the Sith and 9 years before A New Hope. They've actually done the math quite well, where Alec Guinness was 62 when he played Obi-Wan in A New Hope. And Ewan McGregor is 50 now. So it's almost right, at that time, perfect, amount of time chronologically. One of the things I'm interested to see is how they sort of get around the visual differences. I know when they cast Ewan McGregor, if you look at the behind the scenes, he's a dead ringer in terms of facial structure for Alec Guinness, but I'm excited to see if perhaps that sort of worked into the story, just because if you just look at them, and no knock on Alec Guinness just looks a lot older in A New Hope than Ewan McGregor does in the trailer. It's an interesting just visual difference, and I wonder if they just address it story-wise, because we know Darth Vader's going to be in this. He's going to be the big bad, and that conflict between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, is Obi-Wan going to be aged unnaturally, just to sort of get them visually to the same point? Because if you look at Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan is just so young. Ewan McGregor is physically so young when they shot that, and you look at, it's supposed to be 19 years between A New Hope and Revenge of the Sith. They look so different, so I wonder if that's something that they're going to address. A couple of challenges I think Obi-Wan's going to come against is the Tatooine saturation, because we've seen Tatooine now in A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones. We go back to, you get the picture, Revenge of the Sith, Rise of Skywalker, and then now Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett all go to Tatooine. This is just, unfortunately, just another, we're back on Tatooine. We can't escape it. Luke's there. Obi-Wan's protecting Luke. Just another sort of, this planet that was supposed to be, the furthest place from the brightest part of the galaxy is sort of the center of the Star Wars universe. We have to get around that again. And it's tough because Book of Boba Fett came out right before this, and it's so centrally based on Tatooine. I feel like maybe it might have handcuffed the writers. I don't know when these things were written, if they were written concurrently, or maybe Obi-Wan might have been written after. I have a feeling it was written a little bit after Book of Boba Fett, where I feel like the writers, maybe they've been put into a corner where like, okay, we can't do another Tatooine story. And maybe Tatooine was the place. Maybe you could have done a very cool, in-depth character study on Tatooine with Obi-Wan-Kenobi. Maybe that would have been the right call, but because of what happened in Book of Boba Fett, where it's all Tatooine-based, to just have another Tatooine-based series kind of handcuff the writers. They're forcing Obi-Wan to go off-planet to this planet Daiyu, which is going to be completely new, so always excited to see new places. Going to be loosely Hong Kong-based, so just the visual language from the trailers, I'm super excited to see that. But I think the biggest concern for Obi-Wan, at least I have, is just that they tell a good story. I think that's something that the fans are really, really going after. We've got these Inquisitors, these Sith Inquisitors. I mean, if you haven't seen the trailer, go take a look. These Sith Inquisitors were the kind of secondary, primary antagonists in that Star Wars Rebels animated series that was produced by Dave Filoni. I found Rebels to be just super enjoyable. I liked it better than Clone Wars, I'll say that. But one thing I'm worried about is just the merchandising, in terms of they just, shoehorning in characters for character, just for the sake of putting them in sort of tying this universe together. I'd rather see a story that was focused on telling a good story. I know that's kind of stupid. I'd rather see characters there with intention versus just shoehorning and throwing random Star Wars universe characters. So I think that's my biggest hope for this series. I really wanted to do that and focus on that, sort of taking Obi-Wan from Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope without it just feeling like you're filling in blank time. I think that was one of the problems I had with Rogue One. Rogue One, great movie. And again, with the prequels, just another issue that Star Wars had was, okay, we have the original trilogy. We know what's going to happen. And sometimes these prequels, it almost felt like, okay, we just have to get the character from A to B, and sort of not really focusing on the characterization, like just getting in close on Obi-Wan, which is, hey, the series is Obi-Wan-Kenobi. So I think that's probably my second biggest thing here. I want them to focus on Obi-Wan. I'm excited for all these new characters, but I feel like it should still be in the context of Obi-Wan. If he should be really the driving force. I don't mind getting in depth on Darth Vader. I don't mind getting in depth on Moses Ingram's character, the Inquisitor she's going to play. But I feel like we start to throw in some others, anybody else, I think it'd be too much. So I just, 3 characters max, I think, is who they should focus on. And obviously Obi-Wan should be the biggest one. I think that was one of the problems everybody had with Boba Fett. We love Mandalorian, but it almost felt like a backdoor Mandalorian pilot with Din Djarin. I mean, spoilers if you haven't seen Book of Boba Fett. But the backdoor pilot element of Book of Boba Fett, where we get 2 episodes focused completely on the Mandalorian, and Boba Fett appears in 2 scenes. I mean, there were great episodes, but I mean, we've got only 6 episodes here in Obi-Wan Kenobi, so I hope that we really don't go off of Obi that much. I saw on IGN, and obviously a lot of fans have pointed this out, and it's kind of jogged my memory, that dialogue in Return of the Jedi where Darth Vader brings Luke to the Emperor. Right before that, he says, Obi-Wan once thought as you did. So it's kind of like a little plot hole where, we saw Obi-Wan just die in A New Hope. So there was no room for Darth Vader to actually have made that work. If this was the first time they met, how would Darth Vader know what Obi-Wan Kenobi thought? Because they just fought and Darth Vader killed Obi-Wan. So I think that it's another opportunity to sort of address that little plot hole, but I hope they make it much more than that. Like, it's not about filling a plot hole, it's about telling a story. So I'm super excited. Julian Post, YouTube, going to be reacting as soon as the episode's posted. Going to try and get these reactions up. Be sure to check it out Friday, Saturday, and then I think the series shifts to Wednesday. So going to try and do these quick reactions. Let me know what you think, comments below, all that good stuff. So we'll see you.